A compound steam engine in which the high pressure and low pressure cylinders have common piston rod is called a receiver type compound engine, B tandem type compound engine, C wolf type compound engine, D none of these. The correct answer is tandem type compound engine. An economiser is used to increase the temperature of saturated steam without raising its pressure. A correct. B incorrect. C. D. The correct answer is incorrect. Besides mean effective pressure, the data required to determine the indicated power of an engine include a piston diameter, length of stroke and calorific value of fuel. B piston diameter, specific fuel consumption and calorific value of fuel. C piston diameter, length of stroke and speed of rotation. D specific fuel consumption, speed of rotation and torque. The correct answer is piston diameter, length of stroke and speed of rotation. The function of a governor is to keep the engine speed uniform at all load conditions. A correct. B incorrect. C. D. The correct answer is correct. The efficiency of the plant with the mechanical draught. A increases. B decreases. C remains constant. D. The correct answer is increases. For maximum discharge through a chimney, the temperature of flue gases inside the chimney should be slightly more than the atmospheric temperature. A correct. B incorrect. C. D. The correct answer is correct. The internal flue tubes of a Lancashire boiler are reduced in diameter at the back to provide access to the lower part of the boiler. A true. B false. C. D. The correct answer is true. A device in which some portion of waste heat of flue gases is recovered to heat the air before it passes to the furnace for combustion purpose is known as A superheater. B air preheater. C economiser. D injector. The correct answer is air preheater. In a fire tube boiler, the water is contained inside the tubes, which are surrounded by flames and hot gases from outside. A true. B false. C. D. The correct answer is false. Steam engines are called external combustion engines. A yes. B no. C. D. The correct answer is yes. The diagram factor is the ratio of the A area of the actual indicator diagram to the area of theoretical indicator diagram. B actual work done per stroke to the theoretical work done per stroke. C actual mean effective pressure to the theoretical mean effective pressure. D any one of the above. The correct answer is any one of the above. By compounding the expansion of steam in two or more cylinders, the length of stroke A does not change. B increases. C decreases. D. The correct answer is decreases. The velocity of flue gases V through the chimney under a static draught of H meters is given by A V2GH, B V2GH, C VH2G, D V2GH. The correct answer is V2GH. A good steam boiler is one which produces maximum quantity of steam with the given fuel. A agree. B disagree. C. D. The correct answer is agree. Cut-off ratio is the ratio of A swept volume to the volume at cut-off, B volume at cut-off to the clearance volume, C volume at cut-off to the swept volume, D clearance volume to the volume at cut-off. The correct answer is volume at cut-off to the swept volume. Which of the following is a water tube boiler? A Lancashire boiler, B Babcock and Wilcox boiler, C. Locomotive boiler. D. Cochran boiler. The correct answer is Babcock and Wilcox boiler. The number of fire tubes in a Cochran boiler are A. 75, B. 115, C. 165, D. 225. The correct answer is 165. The actual power supplied by the engine crankshaft is called A. Indicated power, B. brake power, C. frictional power, D. none of these. The correct answer is brake power. The draught produced by a steam jet issuing from a nozzle placed in the chimney is called A. induced steam jet draught, B. chimney draught, C. forced steam jet draught, D. none of these. The correct answer is induced steam jet draught. The chimney draught varies with A. climatic conditions, B. temperature of furnace gases, C. height of chimney, D. all of these. The correct answer is all of these. The relative efficiency is defined as the A. ratio of thermal efficiency to Rankine efficiency, B. ratio of brake power to the indicated power, C. ratio of heat equivalent to indicated power to the energy supplied in steam, D. product of thermal efficiency and Rankine efficiency. The correct answer is ratio of thermal efficiency to Rankine efficiency. Benson boiler is a water tube steam boiler using forced circulation of water. A. low pressure, B. high pressure, C. D. The correct answer is high pressure. Lancashire boiler has internal flue tubes. A1, B2, C3, D4. The correct answer is 2. When steam after doing work in the cylinder passes into a condenser, the engine is said to be A. slow-speed engine, B. vertical steam engine, C. condensing steam engine, D. non-condensing steam engine. The correct answer is condensing steam engine. Water tube boilers produce steam at a pressure than that of fire tube boilers. A. lower, B. higher, C. D. The correct answer is higher. The equivalent evaporation is defined as A. the ratio of heat actually used in producing the steam to the heat liberated in the furnace, B. the amount of water evaporated or steam produced in kg per kg of fuel burnt, C. the amount of water evaporated from and at 100 C into dry and saturated steam, D. the evaporation of 15.653 kilograms of water per hour from and at 100 C. The correct answer is the amount of water evaporated from and at 100 C into dry and saturated steam. Locomotive boiler is a single tube horizontal internally fired and stationary boiler, B. single tube vertical externally fired and stationary boiler, C. multitubular horizontal internally fired and mobile boiler, D. multitubular horizontal externally fired and stationary boiler. The correct answer is multitubular horizontal internally fired and mobile boiler. The ratio of the to the volume at cutoff is called expansion ratio. A. swept volume, B. clearance volume, C. D. The correct answer is swept volume. In water tube boilers, the water passes through the tubes which are surrounded by flames and hot gases. A. yes, B. no, C. D. The correct answer is yes. The governing of steam engines keep the engine speed constant according to the changing load conditions. A. yes, B. no, C. D. The correct answer is yes. A closed vessel made of steel and used for the generation of steam is called A. steam boiler, B. steam turbine, C. Steam condenser. D. Steam injector. The correct answer is steam boiler. A tandem type compound engine requires a larger flywheel. A. True. B. False. C. D. The correct answer is true. An economiser is installed in a boiler primarily to A. Superheat the steam. B. Reduce fuel consumption. C. Increase steam pressure. D. All of these. The correct answer is reduce fuel consumption. The theoretical indicator diagram of a simple steam engine is based upon the assumption that A. There is no pressure drop due to condensation. B. Steam is admitted at boiler pressure and exhausted at condenser pressure. C. The expansion or compression of the steam is hyperbolic. D. All of the above. The correct answer is all of the above. Lancashire boiler is A. Stationary fire tube boiler. B. Internally fired boiler. C. Horizontal boiler. D. All of these. The correct answer is all of these. The diameter of a cylindrical shell of a Scotch marine boiler varies from A. 1.5 to 2 m. B. 2.5 to 3.5 m. C. 3.5 to 4.5 m. D. None of these. The correct answer is 2.5 to 3.5 m. The missing quantity per stroke is equal to A. Cylinder feed indicated mass of steam. B. Cylinder feed indicated mass of steam. C. Mass of cushion steam indicated mass of steam. D. Mass of cushion steam cylinder feed. The correct answer is cylinder feed indicated mass of steam. In case of non-condensing steam engines, the pressure of steam in the cylinder during exhaust stroke is the condenser pressure. A. Equal to B. Lower than C. Higher than D. The correct answer is higher than. A compound steam engine requires a heavier flywheel than simple steam engines. A. True. B. False. C. D. The correct answer is false. A compound steam engine in which piston rods of high pressure and low pressure cylinders are attached to two different cranks set at 180 to each other is called A. Receiver type compound engine. B. Tandem type compound engine. C. Wolf type compound engine. D. Both A and B. The correct answer is Wolf type compound engine. The heat balance sheet for the boiler shows the A. Complete account of heat supplied by 1 kg of dry fuel and the heat consumed. B. Moisture present in the fuel. C. Steam formed by combustion of hydrogen per kg of fuel. D. All of the above. The correct answer is complete account of heat supplied by 1 kg of dry fuel and the heat consumed. The performance of a boiler is measured by the A. Amount of water evaporated per hour. B. Steam produced in kgh. C. Steam produced in kg of fuel burnt. D. All of these. The correct answer is all of these. The evaporative capacity of a boiler is defined as the evaporation of 15.653 kilograms of water per hour from and at 100 C. A. Yes. B. No. C. D. The correct answer is no. The maximum heat loss in a boiler occurs due to A. Moisture in fuel. B. Dry flue gases. C. Steam formation. D. Unburnt carbon. The correct answer is dry flue gases. Benson boiler requires A. No drum. B. 1 drum. C. 2 drums. D. 3 drums. The correct answer is no drum. The high pressure and low pressure cylinders in a tandem type compound engine are regarded as having cranks A. 180 to each other. B. 90 to each other. C. 0 to each other. D. None of these. The correct answer is 0 to each other. The amount of water evaporated or steam produced in kg per kg of fuel burnt is known as power of a boiler. A. True. B. False. C. D. The correct answer is true. The fire tubes in a Cochran boiler usually have diameter A. 6.25 mm, B. 62.5 mm, C. 72.5 mm, D. 92.5 mm. The correct answer is 62.5 mm. Cut-off governing as compared to throttle governing is A. Less efficient and less economical, B. Less efficient and more economical, C. More efficient and less economical, D. More efficient and more economical. The correct answer is more efficient and more economical.